All right, we're live. Welcome back half to season 4 of Better Call Saul on that epic cliffhanger of Jimmy finally becoming Saul. But in that time span, we had El Camino, which is freaking fantastic. I recommend it. And Henry is growing a beard.
Yep.
In that time span. All right, so Better Call Saul season 5, episodes 1 and 2 were aired this past week, with episode 1 being Magic Man and episode 2 being 50% off. And man, before we get into the episodes, I got to say that we heard all the rumors and everything. It's been confirmed. Hank and Gomi are back in this season.
Yep.
We actually saw Hank in one of the teasers. So I am excited about that. I cannot wait to see how they're going to introduce Hank and Gomi in this season. And I think is it going to be episode 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 that Hank and Gomi is going to be in there?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I've heard it. I think it was either 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 that Hank and Gomi is going to be in there. Yeah. So Hank and Gomi is right around the corner, and I'm so thrilled to see Hank and Gomi return.
Yep.
So so let's try to get started with the first episode, episode 1. So in the teaser this season with Gene in Omaha, it picks up like right after we left off in the previous season of season 4 of the guy recognizing Gene as Saul Goodman.
Yeah. The cabbie. Yeah, the cabbie recognized him.
The cab driver, and his name was it Josh?
I think so.
I think he said it was Josh. Jeff, the cab driver.
Yeah.
Jeff. Yeah, so Jeff, the cab driver, recognized Saul and called him out on it at the mall.
Yep.
And Jimmy or Saul or Gene, whatever you want to call him, made a interesting phone call to a character, Ed the Disappearer.
Yeah.
Came back in this teaser, which was great because the last time we saw him was in El Camino.
Yep.
And this was filmed. The teaser was actually filmed during the time where they was filming El Camino, and actually Vince Gilligan actually filmed this part of the teaser because he had Robert Forster on set, and they needed him to do this little scene. So, I mean, is there going to be a little bit more scenes with Ed? I hope so, but I don't think so.
Well, with Robert Forster having passed away, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on how much they shot with him.
Yeah. I hope they shot a little bit more scenes with him before he passed. Unfortunately, he passed on the day, I believe, El Camino released.
Yeah.
Which was back in October.
Very sad because he was great.
He was a talented actor. And he was really talented in his scenes in Breaking Bad.
He was. But it was great to see Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so if it wasn't El Camino as Robert Forster's last role, it was Better Call Saul, apparently. So the little time change with that. So it was going to be Robert Forster's last role in Better Call Saul as Ed, the Disappearer. Which, I mean, what a way to go out on. That whole teaser was great. I mean, Gene was paranoid because of this guy. He knew who he was. He recognized him before. So Gene conjugate this plan of him leaving Omaha to go somewhere in this truck stop. And he wanted to make sure that nobody was looking for him before he came back. So he called some employee at the Cinnabon that he managed, and then he found out that nobody was looking for him. So he finally came back, and that's how Jeff found him again. Gene was paranoid and scared. He called up Ed and he's like, I'm going to need you again. And Ed was like, it's going to be doubled. It's going to be doubled. But something sparked Gene saying, nope, I ain't going to run anymore. I'm going to face this head on. And I am curious to see how this is going to tie up.
Well, we'll find out when the season 6 premieres.
Yeah. Well, they said that season 5 might have more Gene scenes. Season 5 is going to line up with Breaking Bad in season 5 going into 6. So we might see a little bit more of Gene in this season, which I hope we do. I hope we do. I hope we see Gene at least, maybe in the 5th episode or in the last episode of this season.
That'd be great.
Oh yeah, that would be great. And they have to, any episode they do with Gene has to be in black and white. The full episode has to be in black and white. I would love to see that. It cannot be in color.
No, obviously not.
That'll just break tradition of all things.
I think the stuff with Gene is much more effective in black and white.
Yeah. I if they would have done that in color, I don't think it would have been more impactful.
No, I agree. It's much more impactful, the Gene stuff being in black and white. It's great.
Yeah, and it really shows how depressed Gene is. If all those scenes that's in black and white, you see how depressed he is.
It is tremendous. It's a stroke of genius.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a stroke of genius. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's a stroke of genius by Vince Gilligan to shoot. It's a stroke of genius by Vince Gilligan to shoot the Gene stuff in black and white.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just had this theory is that I think what's going to happen. My theory is that Gene might take the Chuck route and kill himself. He's going to.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, can you hear me? All right, had a little hiccup there, but as I go ahead.
okay. I didn't know what happened. I thought it was on my end.
Nah, it was my end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was saying that Gene, he's going to get so depressed and he's so paranoid that I think he's probably going to kill himself, just like Chuck did.
Oh my gosh.
That's my theory. I mean, do you have any theories of mine? What happened to Gene?
Well, if he's unhappy, if he's that unhappy with his life, he might. You never know. He might decide that he wants to end it all.
Yeah.
But who knows? But but it was great to see Gene in the opener of the episode. Uh-oh. Must have happened again.
I can see you and I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm about to say, what's going on? There was a bit of a...
it's the coronavirus attacking us.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat of the episode. So we pick up right where we left off in the last scene of season 4 of Jimmy going to Kim saying, hey, I'm changing my name. It's going to be Saul Goodman. I'm going to practice on a Saul Goodman because they know my name, because I'm selling the phones to him. And I'm going to use the people that I sell the phones to as my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to go ahead and get the criminal underground as his clients through the drop phones that he's been selling. And, you know, Kim is a little hesitant of where this is going. She does not want to see a Saul Goodman lawyer. She wants to see Jimmy McGill return and hopefully reunite with Wexler McGill.
Yep. That's what she wants, but that's not what she's going to get.
Yeah.
We already know. We already know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And
he's going to be Saul Goodman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this whole episode is you don't see Jimmy at all in this episode. It's 100% Saul. 100% Saul.
Yep.
Let me see here.
And we do see Heel in this episode too.
All right, go ahead.
I say we do see Heel in this episode.
Yeah, so we see a lot of Easter eggs in this episode. Huel is back as is distributing the phones and making clients. So this main story, we only see a little bit of Saul in the beginning and at the end, and the filler is all Mike, Gus, and Lalo, and the fallout from Warner and Mike killing Warner.
Yep, yep.
And I gotta say, I freaking love Lalo. Tony Dalton. I mean, Lalo is freaking Better Call Saul's Negan. That is how freaking awesome Lalo is. I mean, I cannot take my eyes off the screen when I see Lalo. He is so damn entertaining.
He is. He's really good.
And I just can't help but think that I wish we would have seen an interaction between Lalo and Walt. I think that would have just been pretty freaking epic.
It would have been.
But we see Lalo nosing around a little bit into Gus's territory, and he wants to find out what the hell is going on. Who is this Warner? Who is this Michael? What is this concrete that he's pouring and everything?
Mm-hmm.
And Lalo actually sees Gus in this episode at the chicken farm
Yep.
with I think Juan Bolsa makes a return in this episode.
Yeah, Don Juan. Right. Yeah, Juan Bolsa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he makes a return in this episode and the at the chicken farm, and Gus, Gus has that freaking awesome lie about, oh, I'm making a chicken freezer. That's what I'm building. I'm not building anything else but a chicken freezer.
Chicken chiller is what he called it.
Yeah, chicken chiller. It's, to be honest with you, I think he should have said that he's building another Los Pollos Hermanos. I think that would have been a little bit more
Huh?
believable instead of a chicken chiller, freezing the chicken and everything.
Yeah.
But Gus lied and said that he's building a chicken freezer and that he actually he got some meth and put it in the distribution because some of it got stolen. So he didn't want to lose
Mm-hmm.
out. You still there? Uh, there we go.
Sorry about that. The browser crashed on me.
There's a lot of. It's been a year and we still haven't figured out the kinks. All right. All right. So so Gus is building a chicken chiller, which Lalo sees right through the bullshit. I mean, he knows something else is going on. He
Yeah.
knows, so he doesn't. He can't quite put his finger on it, but he knows something else is going on. And then we got
Yeah.
that little talk between Lalo and Don Juan. And they threw that little line in there about Gus's boyfriend being killed by Hector, which I thought that was a fantastic callback to way back in season 4, I believe, of Breaking Bad, of where we actually saw that happen.
Yeah. It was. It was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we found out that the reason why uh, Donnie Eladio is keeping Gus around is because of the money. He brings in huge amounts of cash because of his product.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why he's keeping him around. And Lalo noticed that, and we see a little bit more of that in the next scene with Hector and Lalo talking about what's going on, about Gus and his super lab building.
But we don't see that till the second episode.
Yeah. And the second episode is pretty freaking awesome. I like that. It's just great.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the scenes with Lalo and
Mhm.
Mike and Gus. I don't think Nacho wasn't on there till the second episode, was he?
No, actually, I think Lalo Nacho was in this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Nacho and Crazy 8 were in this episode as well as the next episode, and that's how Lalo knew about the quality issues of some of the product. because Lalo actually goes to where they up to that apartment building of where that girl and found the little box of coke, and Lalo goes through it,
Mhm.
and he knew that like 8 packs was theirs, and some of them wasn't, and that's how they get to the scene of Gus and Lalo and Juan Bolsa sitting down, questioning the product.
Mhm. And Gus admits that, hey, yes, I did give you an inferior product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And, he apologized for that, said that he would strive to give better product in the future.
which is a great foreshadowing event of what Gus and Walt does in the future, where he gets a better product.
Yes.
Great foreshadowing, by the way.
Yes. Because we know Gus will get better product in the future.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see here. We also him discussing with the client who has gotten 5 months in jail, but he wants to take it to trial, and she said no. If you take it to trial, you're going to get the law. You're going to get a way more than 5 months. So
Yep.
Jimmy comes along and kind of inconspicuously tells Kim, you know what? Let me say that I'm from the DEA and DA, or tell them that there's new evidence and that you need to take this to not take this to trial, because if we do and all that, he wants her to lie to the client, which she kind of ends up doing, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
and she regrets that. She doesn't want to become Saul Goodman too.
Right. Yeah. And then the scene, and then we see the scene where Saul's got the tent set up, and he attracts all kinds of interesting individuals.
I hope that whole scene of him talking was ad libbed by Bob Odenkirk.
It probably was.
Because I mean, because he does some great ad libbing, and I love how he kind of ties in Huel. Oh, Huel was going to get 21 years in jail. Oh, Huel was going to get 5 months in jail, and he just kept changing the number, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 100% Saul Goodman right then and there on our TV screens. I mean, we waited 5 seasons for this to see
Yeah.
Saul Goodman, and we finally see Saul Goodman.
Yep. And the one thing that's on the phones is the number one. That's the speed dial
Yeah,
directly to Saul Goodman.
yeah. Which I think it was a callback to the very first episode of Better Call Saul, where the two brothers, he got their cell phone and he said, "I'm number one on your speed dial next to your weed dealer." So I think that was a kind of a callback.
Yeah.
And then we see a returning character of District Attorney Oakley, that woman who was going to put poor Huel in prison because he didn't know he hit a cop. So we see the return of her in this episode and in the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not a big fan of Jimmy either. Of Saul, rather.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm looking to see if there's anything we missed, but I think we covered pretty much the main plot of the whole thing. Mike is still dealing with the death of Warner. He's kind of depressed about that, and we see in the next episode, and I guess we can go ahead and start discussing that because it kind of ties in together, that Mike's been on some of a drinking binge lately because of the fallout of Warner.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that happened in Magic Man was, they had all the workers They had them set up to where they were
Mhm.
they were going to have to drive. Some of them were going to have to drive some pretty long distances to catch a flight.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, one of them said to Mike that Warner was weak.
That was Kai.
And yeah,
That
and
was Kai.
Kai got knocked on his ass too for that.
Which I freaking was so thrilled about that because Kai was kind of a dick to him last
Yeah,
season. And so finally Mike got to kick his ass a little bit.
yeah,
So I was happy for Mike when he did that.
yeah.
And then the other guy, I don't think they gave him a name, but the other guy said that Warner was worth twice of you or somewhere along those lines. And that
50
hit
of you.
50, yeah, 50 of
Yeah.
you, and that hit Mike the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
That hit him the hardest. I don't think we've seen Mike like this since his son got killed, and since
Because Mike didn't want to kill Warner. He didn't want
no,
to kill him. He liked him.
yeah, yeah, because Mike and Warner was on the same path. I mean, he knew he had a job that
Uh-huh.
he had to do, and Warner was did something stupid and left the premises when he wasn't supposed to, called his wife, and it was just something stupid that Warner did. And Mike knew that he didn't have to kill him, but I think when we talked about this, that Warner knew that Mike had to, so he accepted that.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. They told his wife that it was an accident. It was
Hmm.
an on the job accident. That's how he died.
Yeah. Yeah, we see the confrontation between Mike and Gus when Gus came back, and Gus said that his Warner's wife, accepted the story that he died, and that she's going to be well compensated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Gus offers to continue to pay Mike, but Mike says, "Keep your GD money." He
Keep your
doesn't want it.
retainer.
Keep
He,
your
he's
yeah,
got he's got Mike on retainer. Mike's like, keep
yeah,
your GD retainer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to the scene a little bit of the guys getting out to the car, I love that scene. I love that scene because it's classic Mike. He's like, here's your directions. Here's where you got to go. Here's what time you got to be at the airport, and here's when the airplane leaves. It was a great scene. Love it.
Yeah. It was.
And then Gus informs Mike that he has to stop operations on the lab because of Lalo's suspicions.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that Lalo is going to get out of the picture. Once Lalo is out of the picture, the super lab gets to be built, gets to continue on to be built. And I cannot wait to see how Gus takes Lalo out. I think I hope it'll be in season 6 that he does that. I hope it's not anytime this season. I want at least Lalo for the rest of season 5.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because Lalo didn't came in until I think the last half of season 4, the last 2
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want more Lalo. I want more. I want more Lalo.
Yeah. He's
Give
great. Yeah.
give him to season 6 to die.
Yeah.
Oh man, and Tony Dalton just kills it. He just kills it. Lalo's like, oh, let me fix you a taco, and then he's gonna kill the guy. It's like, oh my god, this dude's freaking epic. It's like, oh my god. All right, so let's go ahead and get into 50% off.
Oh, this one. The way this one started.
I freaking love the teaser because it picks right up where we left off with Jimmy going out from the tent and giving everybody the cards, and we see these two drug heads. I don't know if they got a name, but I'll call them Beavis and Butthead because they're that dumb. so Beavis and Butthead is like, whoa, 50% off. That's like half. and so you see these two dumbasses going out and committing all these felonies and all these crimes because we see Saul saying, oh, it's like, you commit 4 felonies, you get the fifth one free.
Uh-huh.
So they keep destruction of property, buying drugs. They get this little gnome thing, and then they break that, and it's just so the whole teaser is so freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I could not help but laugh throughout the whole thing. I could not take my eyes off of it. That's how funny it was. I hope we see these two characters again. I mean, they wouldn't show these two people if they weren't going to be involved in the plot somehow this season. So I hope we see these two again.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I called the number, the Saul Goodman
Oh,
number, and you do get a recording.
oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done that like for every season where they have the number you can call and you get the
Yeah.
recording. Yeah, that's so freaking epic. I
Like when
like
they had
that.
the number for the church.
Yes, that was so hilarious.
The
Oh my god. Oh
website.
man.
They're the website for the church.
Oh, I wonder if that's still up. It's got
I
to
don't
be.
know.
It's got to be.
That was funny. But
Uh,
anyway, now
so
in 50% off, we see the drug manufacturing going on with using a drain pipe.
yes, which was I love how they executed that, and I kind of figured. I mean, it was kind of predictable of what was going to happen when Crazy Eight came up there and the cops came, and then the meth shoots down as soon as he slams it against the wall. That was a little predictable, but still entertaining.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One
So
thing we see in this episode is where they grab Nacho out from,
yes.
and they take him to where his
Hmm.
dad is.
Yeah.
It's like Victor and Tyrus.
Hmm. Yeah. We see Gus making a statement.
Yep.
That is Gus's statement. He said he's basically want Nacho to get on Lalo's good side so that he can be an informant for Gus.
Hmm.
He wants to know every little thing that Lalo's going to do.
He wants Nacho to gain
Yeah,
Lalo's confidence.
yeah,
And then there's one scene. Gus just turns around and gives Nacho a look.
oh yeah, yeah,
Doesn't he have to say anything?
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is classic Gus to his extent, making the statement of you know what's going to happen if you don't gain Lalo's trust, and if you don't work for me, your dad's going to die. You know, I mean, that was just the most intense, one of the most intense scenes this season by far.
Mm-hmm. It was very intense. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Uh, all right. So yeah, going back to the Beavis and Butthead, they go to the drain pipe,
Mm-hmm.
and they get the meth or cocaine gets stuck in the drain pipe, and we see Lalo playing cards with Crazy Eight. And we
Uh-huh.
find out how Crazy Eight got his name. He got his name through Lalo. Lalo calls
Mm-hmm.
him, let's see here, Ultra Loco. That's what
Oh
he
yeah,
calls him.
Ocho Loco.
Lalo
Yep.
calls Crazy Eight Ultra Loco.
Yep.
And is this how Crazy Eight becomes an informant for Hank and Gomi?
Ooh.
Because we know in Breaking Bad that Crazy Eight is an informant for the DEA. So is this going to show how Crazy Eight becomes that informant?
Good question.
And I posted in one of the Facebook groups for Better Call Saul, seeing how we see Hank and Gomi in this season. are we going to see Hank and Gomi go through the drug deal or the drug bust that intrigues Walt in the very first episode of where Hank was on the TV and say, "Hey, we busted this people." Are we going to see that in the season? Because it has to take place, with it lining up being in, almost in Breaking Bad territory now.
Mm-hmm. Be interesting to see if we do see that. Maybe we will.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. So we see more of Mike in this episode, and we notice that he's been over a drinking binge, and he gets a phone call from his daughter-in-law,
Stacy.
Stacy, and asking if he can watch Kaylee, and he does, and him and Kaylee get to working on their little treehouse project, and Kaylee's keep asking these questions about her father, about how good of a cop he was, and all these questions and everything. And Mike lashes out at her, and this is the first time we've seen Mike lash out at Kaylee like this. I mean, every time we saw them together in Breaking Bad and in the previous seasons of Better Call Saul, they were just pop and having grandpa and granddaughter time and all that. But this is where he lashes out at her, and very very interesting where Mike's head is at this point.
Yeah, very interesting. And I'm trying to figure out the reasons why he lashed out at her like that, because she
Mhm.
was just asking questions.
Well, we know he's still upset about Warner's death, so that might be having something to do with that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and also, with all that stuff that happened with his son, I don't think he wants to revisit all that at this point because his head's not where it needs to be.
Yeah, I just thought about that too.
Uh, so we see
Oh
Jimmy and
yeah,
go ahead.
Saul takes Kim to this house that he noticed was up for sale.
Yes, yeah, and this
It
is
was a nice place too.
mm-hmm. It was. It struck me that we never see where Saul lives in Breaking Bad. We don't know where he lives. So is Saul going to buy this house when he makes all that money becoming Saul, or where is he going to live? Because we know Kim is not in Breaking Bad. We don't know what's going to go happen with Kim, and we probably find out this season what's going to happen to Kim. And there's the rumors is like she's going to die. Gus is going to kill her. Lala is going to kill her. I don't think Kim is going to die. I don't think that. It'll be surprising if she did die by Lalo or Gus, but I don't see it happening.
Mhm. But I mean, it's got. I mean, it's a nice house. It's got a nice shower and everything, countertop space and everything.
Hmm.
And it's true. We never did see where Saul lived on Breaking Bad.
Hmm.
So maybe this is where he lived.
Maybe. And so we see Kim and Jimmy. Kim telling Jimmy that she doesn't want to lie to her clients like she did. She doesn't want to succeed like that.
Mhm.
And then they get into a little flirting play water fight in the shower, which was hilarious.
Yeah,
And then they leave because I think that's the same realtor, isn't it?
maybe.
From the previous seasons of Better Call Saul.
It might be.
I
I would
couldn't really,
imagine.
yeah, I couldn't get a good look at her, but it looked like her.
Well, I mean, obviously, if it is the same realtor, then it kind of continues the tradition of them
Hmm.
utilizing characters over and over again.
Yeah. So we see Jimmy in the courthouse, and lo and behold, Hamlin's there. Hamlin is in
Yeah,
the
there's
same
Harry.
courthouse. Hamlin, and Hamlin invites Jimmy to lunch, which
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know where this whole Hamlin story is going to go, because we never
not
hear of
Harry.
H.
Howard, not Harry.
Howard.
Howard. Yeah.
Howard. Howard. Yeah, so Howard's there, and we don't know where Howard Hamlin's going to go because they're not. He's not mentioned in Breaking Bad at all. So is his practice going to go under because of the death of Chuck, or is Jimmy going to run him out of business? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't even know. I can't even think of any theories at this point of
Yeah.
what's going to happen to Howard. So we see Jimmy talking to that woman, Erickson. That's her name. Oakley was the bald headed dude who always gets the
Yeah.
bag of chips.
Yeah.
Erickson is the woman, and he wants to talk with her about the clients that he's representing and that he's defending against. And she says, "Nope, you have a meeting with me at this time at 3 o'clock." So he enlists the help of the elevator operator to break down the elevator so that they can discuss the clients, which was genius on Saul. This is classic Saul again, and we
Yeah.
see Saul for the very first time in Better Call Saul with his little Bluetooth headset.
Yes. The Bluetooth. You're right. Yeah.
His Bluetooth headset.
Yep.
And it makes me wonder, when are we going to see Francesca again? When are we going to
Ooh,
see
good
Francesca
question.
again?
I'm sure we will.
We
I'm
got
sure we.
we've got to see Francesca again.
Yeah. Well, we still have to see him get the strip mall office. Also.
Yes, yes. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that either. So there's a lot of things he's got to get. He's got to get his office. He's got to get Francesca. He's definitely got to get his car that says "Lawyer Up."
Lawyer up.
And I wonder if Lalo gives him the car for representing Crazy Eight, because at the end of this scene we see Nacho having Jimmy coming into his car, and
Yep.
there's business to attend about Crazy Eight. Because
Yep.
Crazy Eight, he got arrested when all the meth came out from the drain pipe. He's in jail. He's in jail right now, and he's got arrested. So Nacho is getting Saul to apparently represent Crazy Eight to get him off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, this is going to be an epic season, I believe. This is going to be an epic season.
I think so.
And then going back, we see Lalo and Hector at the
Oh yeah.
at the retirement home, and I love this scene because Lalo being the nice guy, the guy says, here's this Hector's drink that he has to drink, and he said, I'll make sure he has it. He dumps it out and puts liquor, some kind of liquor in the cup,
Yep.
and he has Hector drink it, and they discuss Gus. And Gus, he wants to know what's Gus having in plan. And Hector with the bell, because
Yes.
he's got the bell again.
Yep.
With the bell, telling Lalo that it's the money. You're gonna have to cut Gus's money to get him out of the picture.
Yep.
So there's two plots going on at this point. You got Lalo going after Gus and his money, and now you've got Gus going after him out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot wait until we see them to
Uh-oh.
it's probably just
Yep.
can you hear me?
You were kind of... Er, er, er. You were saying something about Gus.
Yeah, I just see us and Lalo in their collision course.
Yeah.
That's going. Hopefully, it's season.
Uh-oh. Oh, there he is.
How about now?
A little bit better, but still kind of breaking up some. Yeah.
Well, I think we got to discuss all the next episodes. Any prediction episode, and Monday's episode is called the guy for this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, predictions. Well, I think we are going to see somebody. Or I think Nacho is going to convince Saul to represent Crazy Eight. I think it's one thing we're going to see. And it may not take much convincing either.
Yeah.
Because Saul, he's like, you don't want a criminal lawyer, you want a criminal lawyer. So I think we may see. I don't think it'll take much prodding.
Mm-hmm. I hope we see a scene between Lalo and Saul Monday night. I think
Ooh,
that would just be epic.
that would be great.
Yeah, because in the teaser we hear Lalo say, "Oh, so you're the guy with the mouth." I mean, we have to see a scene between Saul and Lalo. I think it'll be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It'll just be so great.
Oh, have you seen some of the new ads for Better Call Saul? Like, well, some of the there's also there's two videos of Kim
Yes, yes,
ethics training with Kim Wexler.
yes. I like that. I like the first one because we found out that Saul is directing them, and it's the same kids from the university. That is so freaking awesome. I love
Yeah,
those.
and there's one where Saul teaches you how to get out of jury duty.
Yes. Did you see the one with Lalo teaching you how to fix a taco?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yes. Yeah, there's one with Lalo. And Gus teaches you how to iron a shirt.
There's one where Mike teaches you how to fix a pimento sandwich.
Yes, I saw that one. That was
Yeah.
great. He's just saying, take the bread, take the cheese, slap the cheese on the bread, and then top bread, and you're done. That was great.
Congratulations.
Great. Oh my god, those I love those websodes. Those are great.
Uh-huh.
Those are great. I'm trying
maybe
Go ahead.
if it is going to be episodes 3 and 4 that we see Hank and Gummy, and maybe we'll see Hank and Gummy this Monday.
Yeah, I hope to.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like we missed anything.
Off the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see if they punt the list of the cast on any of the episodes to see if we can figure out Hank and Gomi will be on there. The question is that Hank is have Hank and prior to then bad have Hank and Saul cross paths before because it
Yeah.
seems because with the dialogue between the two in the Breaking Bad episode, it seems like they've met before,
Uh-huh.
and Hank doesn't really care too much for him
No.
because when Saul asks Hank, "What do you want with yeah your commercials? They suck ass."
Yeah.
So just based on the dialogue itself, we think that they've crossed paths before.
Mm-hmm. Which wouldn't surprise me.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, I
gas can
remember
drop.
in the episode Magic Man, Saul was saying, he was the one that calls me Magic Man. He says, I don't really like to be called Magic Man, but that's what he calls me.
Yes, and that is some good Bob on Bob Odenkirk's up, but maybe that.
That would be awesome if it was.
But oh man, great 2 episodes. Uh, uh, 3. Used to talk about Walking Dead, and I gotta be honest with you, kind of. Can you hear me?
You kind of broke up some.
All right. Now,
You're a little bit better.
I was talking about Walking Dead. Did you watch Walking Dead this Sunday?
I
Past
did,
Sunday?
yes. Yes.
I got to be honest with you. I've been phoning it in or toning it out. I'm just not as bad as I used to be.
I'll still watch it, but just more out of habit than anything else.
A Negan and Alpha was interesting.
Yeah, they get a little freaky deaky.
you, You're going to leave the mask on?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, but I just haven't been reading. I didn't pay too much attention.
Uh-huh.
Negan and Alpha, semi-sex scene that they did, and also the whole. Although I did like the whole them being underground in that mine and trying to get out of the mine, blew up. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was really on. I thought the girl really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. You're still breaking up some.
All right, go ahead and end it. All right, yeah.
All right.
That's going to do it for us tonight. We'll be back next week to discuss episode 3 of Better Call Saul. And I'm excited about Better Call Saul than I am The Walking Dead because this season, according to all the version on this season is going to decide what bad uh, with White and I'm excited. Next Saturday, 8 o'clock is going to be episode 3 again. The and this episode, and we do 13.
Yeah, because season 6 is going to be the last season.
Mm-hmm. And we do get a Vince Gilligan directed episode this season. It's going to be episode 8, Bagman.
Ah, okay.
So he's making us wait until almost the season finale of a Vince Gilligan. So I think we know that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. I'm thrilled for that one. But on that note, let's go and end it right here. We'll see you here next week for episode 3, season 5 of Better Call Saul. The guy for this. Good night, everybody.